I'm Wendy Jackson, and this is my portfolio. I have a white binder that's clearly labeled Wendy Jackson, Early Childhood Education Professional. On the front pocket here, there's a cool little thing. I have a business card with a USB drive attached that has video of different observations and classes that I've taught. I have my introductory summary. Inside this portfolio are a collection of artifacts and writings about my philosophy and experiences in early childhood education, intended to support my values and experiences and passion for engaging young children. Artifacts within document my beliefs, professional development, experience, and classroom use of NAEYC best practices and standards. Bringing together examples and assessments of my work provides opportunity to see both my skills and passion for early childhood education. This collection of information is meant to help me share and demonstrate my beliefs about early childhood education in a clear and meaningful way. Included are introductions to who I am by means of a short autobiography, statement of philosophy, resume, and clear demonstrations of adhering to all 6 NAEYC professional standards. Following is a section that documents my supportive engagement with family and the community, with examples of inviting family to be an integral part of my curriculum. A section on lesson plans details how I form and present lessons, build meaningful curriculum, and intentionally promote child development and learning across all the domains. Lastly, you will find background information like transcripts, background checks, certificates, letters of reference, volunteer efforts, and KVCC practicum evaluations. There is a note. If you please, take a resume or business card available in the last pocket. Find a thumb drive in the front pocket. You open this up, and there is my table of contents. And each area has a section. This is my professional development. There's a short autobiography with my photograph. There's my philosophy of education. A resume. I do have others in the back pocket. The 6 NAEYC standards and sentences that other people have said in observations of me, or other documents that I've gotten, letters or whatnot, that back up me following the 6 standards. And then I have each standard listed. Promoting child development and learning, I have some pictures. Building family and community relationship, I have an example, more pictures, and a lesson plan. Observing, documenting, and assessing to support children and families. In this section I have observations, paper I wrote about observations and why they're important, examples of observations, lesson plan based on an observation, frequency count, checklist, frequency count, and a note about reflective teaching and examples of reflections that I've done on different lessons. Another observation a work samples checklist, an anecdotal checklist, and then using developmentally effective approaches to connect with children and families. There was an assignment where I was observed by one of my lead teachers, and she wrote some wonderful comments on this feedback paper, pretty much saying that. So I included that. I have using content knowledge to build meaningful curriculum. I have examples of that in lesson plans. Becoming professional. I have goals that I've written, letters that I've received, practicum evaluations. And then I have a different section called Inviting Family. This showcases an invitation to a family fun night. And then I have an example of a trifold that I made. It was bigger, but I printed it out to fit this portfolio to communicate with family about the importance of outdoor play. I have letters that I've sent home to family. This is a community lesson plan. The firefighters came to the nursery school, and I did a lesson plan on writing a thank you note to the firefighters and a review of what the firefighters taught us. That's that lesson plan. So working with community. This is on being a social beings. This lesson plan is It's My Turn. And anger rules. Not anger rules, but anger rules. And I have a section on strong and healthy. Wash your hands. A copy of a song I made up to the tune Twinkle Twinkle Little Star with pictures that the children understood from my lesson. Staying safe in the parking lot. We had some children with concerns. This is on communication, and I included a paper about the differences and similarities between children with speech delays, speech and language disorders, and dual language learners. And this is a language, literature, and literacy lesson plan on friends asking. I have a section on communication. I have a lesson plan on cooking with math based on Eric Carl's book, Pancakes, and making pumpkin bread, sending home the recipe for pumpkin bread to encourage families to make it together, and a reflection. I have an area called Curious Minds, an area called Nature Play, a lesson plan I wrote called Experiences in Nature. My Trees Life Science week-long study. Lots of ideas here. I have an observation I did because I knew I needed to teach a technology lesson, and I ended up teaching a lesson on observe that leaf using magnifying glasses. Have a lesson and take home activities to do with family. A paper that I wrote on child-initiated activities in STEM. This is language, literacy, and literature. This is writing with the little mouse based on the Big Hungry Bear book. This is a picture of felts I made for that lesson. And this is a reflection of that lesson with photographs of the kids' work. I have an area called Health and Safety. This is actually pretty full. I have lesson plans that I've written. Exercise is fun. More water, please. My weekly menu that I made. I'm safe with art materials and tools. Brush and floss your teeth. I have an area on guiding behavior, which is also fairly thick. I have lesson plans that help teach this one is to help teach children how to regulate their own emotions and behavior. And I have a nice little thing to send home, alternatives to the phrase calm down, and a reflection on how that lesson plan went. And photographs. The kids actually loved that one. Use the garbage can foot pedal. I had a kid that was washing his hands diligently and then picking up the trash can lid and throwing his paper towel away. And when I brought this up to the teacher, she suggested I look to see who else was doing that and planned a small group activity. I wanted a picture. I wanted a PEX to put by the garbage can to help them remember to push the pedal, and I couldn't find one anywhere. So I created this one. A lesson on caterpillars, which is also about regulating their emotions, because there was a period of time a lot of caterpillars were on the playground and the kids would not leave them alone, even though the caterpillars were not good to be touching. And so learning to leave the caterpillars alone and still learn about them. Have you ever seen a spider was about regulating behavior, because they would scream like crazy. It was really ridiculous. And so giving them other things to do, teaching them about spiders so that they didn't screech and scream. And I have a paper I wrote on resiliency. Being resilient is important, and I intend to add much more to this binder. I think I need to get a bigger binder. But that I don't have anything more than a page on resilience is kind of surprising to me. And then I have Homeschool Connections. I have Family Fun Night curriculum that I wrote. I have a trifold that I made to send home with family. Here is the trifold, full size. Full of helpful information, hopefully to get parents playing with their children and being intentional about some of the activities they do. I have an area on art and music, a collection of songs that I've been pulling together. Most of them support early STEM, patterns, numbers, rhythm. And I have a section on infants. I just couldn't figure out where else to put them, and I decided I wanted them included. I have strong ideas about infants. I have my floor plan that I created when we were designing a space. A nice little pocket here. I have a baby lesson plan. I have a poster that I created on physical development from birth to 8 years. And then family and community. This is an invitation to the family fun night. I have a fire safety lesson. I have reference letters, volunteer reference comments, letters that I received to be at one of my sites. I have something I made for the community, for the farmers market, to help the new immigrant population navigate how to use harvest bucks at the farmers market. The language barrier was something that I decided needed help with pictures, and this has been resourceful. An example of a report that I wrote, an annual report, as a volunteer in a local church. And then I have a section on my background. I have a transcript from KVCC, transcripts from UMF. I have my mandated reporter certificate. I have recommendation letters. And then I have my back pocket, which I'm kind of proud of. I have resumes ready to go and hand out, or if they would prefer, a business card. And then this is all the stuff that you don't really need to see unless you want to actually hire me. Medical records. What else is in here? My immunization. Yeah. Yeah. This has my immunizations, my release to for background check. Yeah, this is all immunization stuff. There we go. I think I need a bigger binder. This is kind of fun. I can't wait to fill it in. There you go. Wendy Jackson, Early Childhood Education Professional.